Okay, so this is some more SAT prep on systems of equations. So what I wanted to do here was just show you a couple examples of systems. And I wanted to talk about, since you already talked yesterday about substitution and elimination, sometimes some people like one method over another. For example, all 4 of these examples are set up for substitution, where you could literally just throw this into that y spot. So let's take a look at that. Then instead of the letter y, you're going to put all of this in parentheses. And then bring down that. Then you're going to distribute. Remember, try to do this without a calculator. (14 minus 14), those will cancel. You're left with negative 12 is equal to negative 3. And then we're like, well, that doesn't even make sense. So that is a no solution. Okay, let's look at this one right here. So we're going to circle this. It's going to go into here. We're going to say 5x plus 2, parentheses, negative 5x minus 13 is equal to negative 21. All right, we're going to go ahead and distribute. Okay, 5x minus 10x, let's join our like terms here, becomes negative 5x total. Then we're going to go ahead and add 26 to both sides to make it equal. Negative 21 plus 26 is 5. And then we're going to divide by 5, negative 5, and we're going to get x to be negative 1. Look at all of that work, but we're not done yet. We still have to find our y's answer. So then we're going to go back. We would pick either one of these. And most likely it's going to be easier to do the top one. Let me just write it down. Then we're going to substitute negative 1 into the x spot, which will give us 5 minus 13, and then y is going to be negative 8. So then we put both these answers together, and we say the answer is negative 1, negative 8. But what I wanted to show you, it was that we could, instead of doing substitution, we could have done this whole problem by elimination. So some people stick with substitution, they like it. Some people stick with elimination, they like it. Some kind of go back and forth. If you're the type that always likes elimination, you can make this problem that's in slope-intercept form into a standard form problem. So all you have to do is add 5x to both sides. You just want to make sure that you do it correctly, which will become 5x plus y equals negative 13. The other problem is fine the way it is. Now, if I add these straight up and down right now, nothing is going to eliminate or get rid of each other. But if I multiply one equation by negative 1, let's say I do this one, then that turns that into negative 5x. I'm going to squeeze it in here. Minus 1y, and then that turns into a positive 13. Now what I can do is add these straight up and down. These will eliminate. 2 take away 1 is 1y. Negative 21 plus 13 is going to give me negative 8, and I get one answer right away. Then I go back to the original problem, and I say, let's pick one. Let's just say I pick that one. The answer for y is negative 8. And now I start solving for x. So now I'm going to add 13 to both sides. So negative 8 plus 13 is 5. And then I divide by negative 5. And I get negative 1 to be my x's answer. And so my answer is negative 1, negative 8. Notice I got the same answer, just a different kind of work. So it's up to you how you want to do the substitution or elimination problems. If you just want to do substitution when it's warranted for substitution, or you want to turn all of the substitution problems into elimination, that's fine. But we do need to talk about story problems. There's a ton of story problems like this on your SAT. And some of them are calculator problems and some of them are non-calculator. It doesn't matter. But the way we write them, we have to learn how to write them ourselves. So a lot of times if they give me information, I always tell people this. Ask yourself, is it a y equals mx plus b? In which case they give you a per, just one time they give you a per item, just once. Or is it going to be a standard form problem? Well, they give you something per this and something per this. So there's 2 kind of per items, and they give you a total amount. So we're reading here, senior class rented 2 vans, 5 buses with 133. High school B rented 2 vans, 1 bus with 49 students. To me, I see that as a total. The total here with 133 students and 49 students, that tells me I'm going to write it like this. So let's look at high school A. They have 2 vans and 5 buses for a total. The total always goes over here by itself. Then we have high school B has 2 vans and 1 bus for a total of 49. So a lot of times the story problems can be written in either standard form or slope-intercept. Most of them, though, are in standard form. All right, so now I look at this. I'm like, okay, well, if I add straight up and down right now, nothing will cancel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply all of these by -1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these together. These will eliminate. 1 minus 5 is -4b. 49 take away 133. So we're going to subtract there. And again, we're doing this without a calculator. So we're going to go 13, and then that whole thing becomes 12 now. 13 minus 9 is 4. 12 minus 8 is. So then we get 84. Now the question is it 84 or is it -84? Well, the bigger number was 133. That number was negative, so we get a negative. Then we go through and we divide by -4. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 4 goes into 8 twice, and 4 goes into 4 once. So B are the buses. Is it 2 S's? 1 S? Up there is 1 S. I thought it was 2. 21 buses. So I go back and I pick one of my original problems. Let's say I picked this one. There's 21 buses. So 1 times 21 is 21. I'm going to subtract 21 from both sides. And we're going to divide by 2. And we're going to get V is equal to 14. That means that our vans are 14. There's going to be 21 students per bus. And there's going to be 14 students per van. So here's an example of one that's a little bit different. Okay, so I'll just take a minute and read it. All right, it says $15 to rent a tube. That means per tube. Every single tube you buy is $15, so it's $15 per tube. And then $7.50 to rent a cooler tube. So that's for the person, that's for the individual, which is used to carry food and water. The friends spend $360 to rent and $260 total. Okay, so they are giving us total amount, so this is still going to be a standard form problem. But it's a little bit different. So what we're talking about here is we have a lot of money going on. Money, money, money. So we're going to put all the money problems together. So we're going to go 15 to rent a person tube. I'm going to call it P for person. And $7.50 to rent a cooler tube. And this is money, money, which means the total amount of money is $360. Okay, so now we're done with that. We're done with this. We're done with that. So sometimes all of a sudden you'll get going and you're like, wait, I don't have enough numbers. But I do know the total is 26. That means 26 has to go here. You don't have any other numbers. That means that it's a single. It's like 1P and 1C. A total of 1 here and 1 here. We're going to have 1 person tube and 1 cooler tube. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into our elimination. So I would probably go ahead and multiply this here by -15. So I get -15P, -15C. Let's just talk about how to multiply a 2-digit number times a 2-digit number without a calculator. So what I'm going to do is instead of writing 26, I'm going to write it as 20 and 6. Okay? I'm going to multiply both of these by 15. So 15 times 2 is 30, which means 15 times 20, there's an extra 0. I'm going to put in a 0, which means 20 times 15 is 300. All right, so then let's look at this. How are we going to do 15 times 6? So 5 times 6 is 30. 6 plus 3 is 90. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those together, and I'm going to get 390. So that's what goes here. So I multiplied this one equation by -15, so I wrote it all down there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add up the top equation with this new one right here. So 15 plus -15 cancels. 750 take away 15 is negative 750. And again, that just goes with your prior knowledge. 360 and 390, well, one's positive, one's negative, so we're going to subtract them. 390 take away 360 is 30. But because this here is a negative and it's bigger, it becomes a negative. And I'm going to divide by, now again, if you had a calculator, you could just type that right in, correct? Okay, so let's talk about how to do this without a calculator. So first of all, I don't know if this would help at all. There's so many different ways you can go about it, but let's change this to a fraction. That's 7.5, 15, and now it's a negative. Okay, so here's the problem now. I'm going to do negative 30 divided by 15 over 2. Well, to get rid of dividing by a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so now 30 and 15 can be reduced. 30 divided by 15, these both will cancel and just becomes 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So C is equal to 4. Now we're going to go back to one of the equations, the original equations. I'll start with the second one. So I really don't need the ones. If C is 4, go ahead and subtract 4. So what does this mean? It means that they're going to have 22 person tubes and 4 cooler tubes. So I just want to give you an example of some of those that were slightly different.